right, enough Barca. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gav.
Arsenal stay top of the Premier League with a 2-0 win over Brentford. Jules, I thought this was actually much more one-way traffic, although the second goal came late.
Yeah.
But that David Raya save was
big save on the shadow header on that corner. The thing I would say, and it's being big picky because they were solid still. Apart, I know there was that save, but I think they would have won the game regardless. Anyway, they could have scored more goals. I felt in the second half, Arsenal lost a bit of control, which I didn't like. It became a basketball game almost, and they were trying to. Instead of just keeping the ball and calming it all down, they were going like Rice was running 50 yards with the ball. There was too much verticality when there was no need to be, really.
I think I noticed that a little bit too, the back and forth, and I kind of chalked it up to, let's put this game to bed. Let's get the second goal and kill the game. And maybe it wasn't the right call, but
they were so superior.
Brentford set pieces, maybe that's...
Yeah, but that plays into Brentford's hand because you lose the ball. Your structure defensively, especially off possession, is not ready. Your rest defense was obviously, as always, very good, even with the players missing in the rotation. But then that pressure came back very quickly to you because you lost the ball far too quickly. So it was better the last 20 minutes or so when they regained control, and then they scored that second goal, which was not a coincidence.
I thought for a minute, I was like, oh, Mosquera's injured. And then I thought to myself, okay, but Saliba's coming back. You've got Timber who could play center back. Yeah. You've got Ben White who could play center back. You've got Calafiori who could play center back. I think you're pretty much stacked.
I know. Let's hope it's not too serious for Mosquera either. Chelsea fall 3-1 away at Leeds. Gav, after one of the best performances of the season on Sunday, comes one of the worst.
Yeah, look, there may have been worse performances this season. This is absolutely horrible. This went back and played into the notion that when there's no Caicedo and there's no Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Obviously, Palmer not for a long time. We saw Palmer the last half hour. He's not fit. It's not the real Palmer. He's still maybe... could have had that goal.
Yeah.
This is such a breakdown. Now, the third goal, obviously, it's a brain fart from Tosin. Fine, but the first one, the header when Delap completely loses his man. I don't.
Yeah,
bro, you're a professional footballer. Your dad was a professional footballer. Chelsea signed you because you're supposed to be strong and aggressive. All we've seen from you is the aggression side. Also, Chelsea really struggled to press when he's on the pitch. I don't know if it's a question of...
The goal is his fault, but he was not signed to mark defenders who are better than him in the air, stronger than him. I would not have put him to mark or personally. And it's obviously a half man-to-man marking and zonal marking, which they struggled with pretty much the whole game. For me, this is on Maresca. I understand the rotation. Everybody rotated this midweek. It's normal. They've got a game at the weekend and Champions League, then a game. So it's a lot of games. But Enzo and Andre Santos, again, in a game like this, when you know exactly what Leeds are going to do, is being so aggressive in that midfield.
Right. So you would have put Reece James back in midfield and asked Reece James to start 2 games in 4 days.
Yeah. I mean, just even play an hour. But certainly there was no need. Enzo should have never played in this position. We said it on Monday's show.
No, it's not.
Enzo cannot play there.
It's not his bag.
Enzo cannot play there. He was a burden for the team.
As was Delap. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Can we say that? This folly of financializing players where you need to move them around every year. What is the purpose of... This wouldn't have happened with Nico Jackson.
No? Yeah. What, the goal?
No, honestly, would you rather have Nico Jackson... Would Chelsea be... I'm just going to... Simple yes or no question. Was Chelsea a better team this season with Nico Jackson or with Delap?
Yeah, but the Lab has been injured for a while. But I don't think the Joao Pedro, the Lab kind of 10-9 works anyway.
Oh, no.
So, especially not in a game like this.
Jules, we're not done because we have more quick hits.
Yes.
Wild stuff at Craven Cottage. Manchester City get the 3 points, but a 5-1 lead in minute 56 turns into a 5-4 win against Fulham, and some scary moments at the end for Pep. This whole idea of Pep is all about control. We control the...
No more control.
You're controlling nothing right now.
Yeah, there's no more control. That evolution that we've been mentioning a lot on the show is part of the reason why it's like that. The Pep Linders influence on the verticality, the pressing, everything you want. I still think this is a badly balanced team anyway. Whether you want the control, the structure, anything to do with the ball. Because Guardiola has to save on the line. It's not really on the line. I don't think Josh King ball is going in anyway. But It was a bit scary. You remember the old like motto from Johan Cruyff, I would rather win 5-4 than 1-0.
Right.
This is BS. We all know that. You know, if you ask
it's
Pep,
not even what Pep believes. Yeah.
exactly true. So this was entertaining for a neutral like us. Sure, watching it. And there's a lot of good things up to 5-1, but certainly the last 40 odd minutes are terrible.
Coming on the back of the Leeds game, which was very similar.
The 2-2.
Yeah, he's got to work on something.
Yeah, and Gabi, in that game, Erling Haaland scored his 100th Premier League goal in just his 111th Premier League game. Put this in context for us, please.
It's pretty remarkable when you compare it to the other goal scorers. Alan Shearer did it in 124. And by the way, I have to put my proviso out there that this number's a bit fugazi because Alan Shearer played top flight football in England before the Premier League started. So this is just limited to Premier League games. Kane 141, Aguero 147. I think about Haaland is even in this game, he could have had a hat trick.
Yeah, easily.
He is a one-man wrecking crew, and it does feel like the team completely plays for him, just like the team, played for Kane or whatever. But these are unbelievable numbers, and if you're a Premier League fan, you're blessed to have him here. A Nordi Mukiele own goal allows Liverpool to get a draw at home to Sunderland. But that only happens thanks to my boy, Federico Chiesa, running the length of the pitch to spook Wilson Isidore into absolutely squandering that winner, that chance for winner. Do we need another positivity corner here to cheer up Liverpool fans, Jules?
Remind me, who let Isidore on his own? Oh, your boy Chiesa as well. So he made up for the mistake, right?
Yeah, well, it can happen. I'm sorry, if Liverpool scored the other end, because that was off a set piece, wasn't it? So if they score, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they didn't score, and the keeper get the ball, and then so Isidore on his own and just hoofed the ball. Well done for making up for his mistake. For Chiesa.
He's not a defender.
Very true. That's very true. I thought it would be better. We said on Monday I wanted to. Arneson to keep the same team, and he did, apart from Robertson and Kirkus, but the front four was the same. Because I thought there would be some improvement, and in the end, there wasn't. And Sunderland are a better team right now than Liverpool, even at Anfield. So it's probably a fair result. I'm not sure where you go from there. Salah benched again, obviously, came on for the last half hour, did nothing either. I'm not sure really what you turn, because I really thought what we saw against West Ham could be the start of something, and clearly this game showed that probably not.
Didn't help Isak either.
No. And I talked about Mo Salah, Gabi. On the bench again, what did you make of it?
Look, I mean, Slot came out and spoke about it. Well, he's not the only one who's happy when he's out. That's fine. My concern here, and why this is more serious, is it's not like you're benching him because he's going away anyway. Let's find a way of playing. It's that the system you have in place, the guy who's replacing him in the team is a guy who plays completely different. It's a completely different profile. It's a completely different style, which means that if this setup works, and by the way, it's still very TBD to see if it works with Szoboszlai on the right, when Salah comes back, he's going to disrupt things if he goes into the right wing, or you're going to have to change again. Or maybe you play Salah at center forward because Isak hasn't improved. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really big call, and I'll be really curious to see if he gets more starts ahead of the AFCON. Ollie Watkins shines for Villa, who battled back to win 4-3 away to Brighton. By the way, Ollie Watkins set some ups and downs this year. I was very happy for him. Jules, it's now 8 wins in 9 Premier League games for Unai Emery, which means I'm forced to continue asking you about him.
Yeah, I mean, incredible turnaround. They were 2-0 down away at Brighton, and they won. And then they got to 4-2 and then 4-3, obviously. And it was a bit tense in the end because Beza, who replaced Martinez just during the warm-up when Martinez got back spasm, made an amazing save on a Welbeck header to keep the win for Villa. So I don't think their margins have been that great, even against Leeds when they won 2-1.
It's Emery black magic. It's Emery. Well, he looks like a little vampire, and that's what he's doing.
The only defeat in that is the Nines were Liverpool, by the way, who obviously can't beat anybody apart from Villa, the most informed team in the league, which is remarkable, really. They share their goals a lot. They're very good on set pieces. They're obviously very solid physically too. So the game against Arsenal on Saturday would be very cool, I think.
Amadou Onana is a gem, by the way.
Yeah.
Guti Romero scores twice, a second and overhead kick deep in injury time, and Spurs come from behind twice at St. James Park to draw 2-2 at Newcastle. Jules, signs of life for the man with 2 first names?
I don't know, because they were very bad, Spurs, in this game. Okay, they were unlucky on the penalty given to Newcastle, because that's never a penalty, and it's another mistake from Howard Webb's and his people.
Just describe the penalty, because I thought this was
If you give that penalty, it's Bentancur and Burn going at it with each other, grabbing each other, not just Bentancur. Bentancur is not looking at the ball. I know this is a problem, but if you give this one, you give 10 penalties per game in the Premier League. In any league.
I don't have a problem with the whole giving 10 penalties per game, but then you have to do that, and people will stop doing it.
Yeah.
That situation, if you believe Bentancur, who I think weighs about half as much as Dan Burn, you know, come on.
And then, I mean, the best bit was maybe Richarlison trying to get a penalty with the most ridiculous diving straight after that. So Romero saved the day again. Frank said it was a brilliant overhead kick. It wasn't. It was one of the worst overhead kicks you've ever seen. But they all count.
No, the kick itself was fine. It's the way it just trickles. It trickles through him.
It's with his shin, massively.
I know, but on top of that, it trickles through like 50 people.
That's what I mean. One of the worst, but they all count.